Hi everyone, this is Juniper and I'm breaking down my new song with Joya, Fireflies. I've got the Logic file open here today and we're going to do a deep dive on how we made the song, including the vocals, the production, and yeah, some Easter eggs that I hope you guys will find interesting. This is the Logic file, and one of the reasons why I really like Fireflies is because it's a 91 track song that sounds like a 5-piece band, and I've been really struggling to not overproduce something, so this was a real dream come true for me. I wrote it on an acoustic guitar back in Hong Kong when Joya and I had first met, and that's this layer here. It dips out to give it this indie vibe. Kind of draws you in. But it's extremely simple. You don't even use all of the strings, it's just 3 strings. It was very important, I think, to get the slide down, so like that slide sound, and you can hear that really well in the file. Okay, once we had that backbone, literally Joya just started humming like melodies and stuff, and that's how both of us like songwriting. All that pink you see up there, that's all Joya. I'm just gonna isolate the vocals and the guitar, so it kind of creates this feeling of how we first wrote it.
You've got me wrapped around your finger. Come to think you've got the whole damn head.
So some simple doubling, which is when you take a repeated or a retake and pan it strong left and right to create a wider effect. This also is applied to the guitars, that's why they sound quite rich. On its own would sound quite plain. And then I added some harmonics on top, so a harmony with the guitar in certain places.
Will it ever be the same again? I thought I saw you on the train again.
Joya is so amazing at doing vocal harmonies, as well as just like the most beautiful tone you can ever hear in a song. Check this out. What is very interesting about this song is how natural the bass line sounds, but it's actually all Midi. Don't know if you noticed there's a little sigh element, and that's actually me just recording into the NT1, which is this guy over here, and all I did was like that, like I just whispered, I let out a breath, and that creates this little texture that indicates a change in the bar. If I can find it, here it is. Of course, as a keys player, I have to put some keys. So like adding those little chord changes really creates a sense of tension and longingness, I think, in the song. But the real hero, right, that keeps this song propelled is the percussion. So here you have all these percussive layers, and they add up to make a very rich palette. A bunch of Midi, a bunch of samples. I don't actually have drum kits. I did record some elements for textures and stuff in my room, but most of it is just what you can find and how you choose to organize them. There's a combo of dry and wet snares. It's little details like that really subconsciously do something.
Shouldn't we have known it would instead?
So, yeah.
I thought I saw you on again.
Adding these sort of really wet and reverbed out guitars helps to add a lot of space in an otherwise quite simple song.
Train again.
Okay, the part I don't really want to get into, but I will, is my backing vocals.
Tearing out like fireflies.
So that's a composite of me and Joya's backings. Then there's my lead vocals.
We were two heartbeats, misaligned in nature. Even if we faltered on that line, kinda miss the sun and all the things you say again.
So there's a lot of things at work here. Like we mentioned before, the panning thing, but there's also just distance from mic and creating the sound palette. So if you're doing the same thing, I think, over and over again, you're filling in certain parts of the frequencies and then not others. So sometimes it's good to step away from it and then sing in a different register, sing in a different tone, you know, go a bit deeper, or go falsetto, which I really like doing. I think it has a lot of air, and yeah, you're building like these layers of a cake. Which it kind of looks like.
I thought I saw you on the train again.
Like, no one even knows, I think, that that little melody is in there, but for me it's gratifying to hear those. And together with the whole song, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Again.
You also sometimes feel the need to fill things out with a lot of different progression and stuff like that, but sometimes something simple like a one-note drone really adds a lot of richness and color to the song, such as these synths that I found. So you might be wondering what those plus and minus 12 means. Well, basically the same sound, if you just doubled it, or if you copy and pasted it, it starts doing a thing called phasing, which is like the frequencies are exactly the same, so it flickers between and it can't decide what to play. If you just pitch bend it by 12 cents positive and 12 cents negative, or just a few cents even, it just misaligns it so that it's actually, to our ears, it sounds practically the same, but to the tech, to the what am I trying to say? To the system, to the DAW, it's technically a different frequency, so then it's not confused, it's not fighting over, do I pick this one or pick that one? So that avoids the phasing problem. Okay, this is something I really wanted to share. The hi-hats, the ride actually is doing a pitch bend. The craziest thing about that to me is that I knew going in that no one was going to notice it, but I felt like it made a difference. And it was also a trick that I got from a song by Eden when he started out trying this technique, and since then has used it a few times. I think I would use it also in some other songs as a more stylistic, obvious stylistic choice, but for this one it was just a nice little bit of detail that caused a bit of rise and fall in the tension. So it really provided a bit of a swing. Even though the tempo itself has no swing, it created a bit of mood changing. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me if you heard it or if you felt it or if you feel it now after that I've exposed this little hidden detail. I'm sure you're noticing a lot of automation. Automation is really important. It creates a lot of change in between moments and helps you merge sections of a song. So if you're a producer, don't forget automation is a very, very simple and effective way to drastically change the way an instrument sounds in the context of the entire song. Don't always be fixated on getting new gear or using new effects. Sometimes just try dialing between them and that creates a lot of possibility, I think.
Just the way it does.
We can't change the seasons, can we? When it hurts, just keep it soft.
Okay, this one's a funny one. That's Joya whispering into her mic. If you listen very closely, you can actually hear construction from when she was in the room because her place is being renovated, her building's being renovated. So it's hard. You can't really avoid those situations, especially as an indie producer using your own equipment in your own space. But the beauty of it also is that no one's gonna jump in the file except for me and pick apart those things and be like, oh, I hear drilling sounds. It's like, big picture wise, if anything, it makes it better because it feels real. It's not like polished, it's not engineered or manufactured. Okay, finally I want to get to the end thing, which has this cool little improvised synth thing. I don't know why I really felt the need to add it, but it just didn't feel right to leave it on a hanging note. And then it does the fade out. Moments like that, you can also pan instruments slightly so that they don't feel like they're just like plopped in there and they're more intentional. I think everything comes down to intention. You should have an opinion on it. For instance, that thing is slightly to the left. And because it creates this kind of spatial environment, suddenly as a listener you buy into it more, I think, because you realize someone has deliberately decided that, oh, this sound should be a little bit to this side, as if you were hearing it from there, instead of just like, oh, everything's coming at me. Yeah, I'm like being fed the default. But that's the beauty of making music in the modern age, is that you have all the tools at your disposal. Everything you've heard is stock Logic and live instruments. I don't pay for any plugins. I just try to push the boundaries. There's a couple reasons. There's no pedals, there's no plugins because I can't afford all that stuff. So it's really just pushing the boundaries of what you have. For instance, like using the voice as an instrument and then distorting it, or yeah, just being creative. I think most creative people are best when they're on a tight budget or limited unlimited resources. Oh yeah, before I wrap up, this was a very late addition that added so much.
Seasons, can we? When it hurts, just
That's the benefit with live instruments. You can play them differently, whereas if it's a standard input or a sample, it's kind of fixed until you really spend time to carve out of it. So yeah, there's definitely benefit to using live instruments, but at the very moment I only have one. At the very moment I only have one electric guitar. Might change in the near future. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this behind the scenes breakdown of Fireflies. Both Joya and I really enjoyed making this. We wrote it essentially, the bones of it, in 2 days in Hong Kong, but the production did take a few months, and then the master as well. I don't do any of the mastering, but apart from that, everything else produced and recorded by myself. So if you're a songwriter, a song maker, a producer, sound engineer, I hope there was something cool in there that you liked and could take and apply into your own songs. But more than that, thank you for giving me the chance to do this. I'm gonna put this file away and never open it again, so bye.